Hello again, I'm Julie Balderrama. I'm the founder of Heart Mind Healing Arts and the Self-Love Legacy. It is time for our second video in the 3-day Self-Love Fest, and now we're going to talk about feeling the way that you want to feel. So let's just do a little check-in about yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about naming our heart's desires, and we had an activity that we did where we took about 2 minutes. We set a timer so we can just work with stream of consciousness. We don't have to think about it too much. We wrote down all of our desires, all of our wants and our needs and our desires. And if you did that, grab that piece of paper because we're going to work with it again. And if you didn't do that, make sure that you pause the video and you do that exercise before we get started today, because we're going to use that same piece of paper where we wrote down our desires. All right, so before we begin, let me just talk to you a little bit about feeling the way that we want to feel and why that is important in our self-love practice. If you are familiar at all with Danielle Laporte's The Desire Map, she talks about identifying how you want to feel. She calls them your core desired feelings. And she talks about figuring out how you want to feel before you start making goals as an important step to ensuring the success of your goals. Now, why is that? Well, the thing is that we typically engage in behaviors because they make us feel a certain way. So we might engage in a particular behavior like eating a piece of chocolate cake because initially it makes us feel good. It gives us that hit of sugar. It tastes good on our tongue, and it makes us feel good. Depending on how we process sugar and gluten and all of that other stuff, it may not make us feel that great later, but that initial moment, it makes us feel good. It makes us feel, a lot of times there's emotional connections to it too, so we might actually feel connected. We might actually feel love. So there's a lot wrapped up into that. We go to the gym because take walks outside because when we exercise, our body releases endorphins and that feels good to us. So we typically engage in behavior because we are seeking to feel a certain way. And if we can figure out exactly how we want to feel, we can then make a little bit more conscious decisions about what our goals are going to be. So here's another example. Let's say that we decide that we want to lose weight, or we want to get fit or be healthy, and to do that, we've decided that our goal is going to be to run a marathon, to train for a marathon. Now, it's absolutely true that when you set a goal, oftentimes you'll have more success than if you set a concrete goal, such as I'm going to train for a marathon. Oftentimes you'll have way more success than if you just sort of set a goal that's a little bit more, a little bit less tangible, right? Like I want to get healthy. There's no tangible measurement there for you that helps you feel like you're succeeding in that goal. But the thing is, if we decide that we want to run a marathon, that's going to be our goal, we might find as we start training for this marathon, especially if we've never been a runner before, that we hate running, right? Or that our body really isn't equipped to run. It's not, it doesn't feel good when it runs. The joints hurt or something else. And so if we're really attached to the goal, we might push through that and in fact not feel healthy or get healthy or be fit because we're actually hurting our body, or we push through it and we're actually miserable as we're running. Now, what would be the point of fulfilling that particular goal if we're miserable and in pain? But if we identify first that the way that we want to feel is healthy or strong, then we can go back to the drawing board. When we realize that training for a marathon is not for us, it's not in our, it's not feeling good in the body, it's not feeling good when I go out and run, I'm not enjoying it, we can go back to the drawing board and we can say, okay, how I wanted to feel was healthy, or how I wanted to feel was strong. What are some other activities that would help me feel that way? We can also take this feeling, how do I want to feel, and we can start to structure our day that way, right? If I pick out, let's say, 3 to 5 core desired feelings, and that's what I'm working with for the week, for the month, for the year, or for the day even, I might just pick one word for the day or 2 words for the day. Then I can start to make decisions, I look at this plate of food and I say, is that going to make me feel healthy and strong? No. Okay. It's a little bit easier to walk away from that at that point because you're remembering how you want to feel. There's a quote, I think his name is David Campbell, and he says, discipline is remembering what you want. And I think that remembering how you want to feel is a really great way to stay very mindful about remembering what you want, about staying in this discipline. I don't know about you, but I used to have a really challenging relationship with the word discipline, and that quote has helped me embrace discipline a little bit more into my life. Okay, so for the practice that we're going to do today, go ahead and get that paper out where you identified your wants and your needs and desires, and take a look at that. You may need to pause the video again as you do this. Take a look at that piece of paper and look at each want and need and desire and ask yourself, how does this make me feel? If I got this, if this need was met, how would I feel? What's the need here that is, how do I want to feel by getting this need met? So let's pick an example. Maybe you identify, I want to lose weight, right? Totally okay to identify that, right? We get into these, things about language, and we kind of get ourselves pinned into a little box. And I absolutely believe that language is very powerful, right? So let's take the example of I want to lose weight. So many times from my clients I hear, I need to lose weight, I should lose weight. And that takes the choice out of it a little bit. But if you were to write it down as a want or a desire, I want to lose weight. You're putting your skin in the game by saying that, right? We'll take that a step further and we'll say, okay, if you had this desire met, how would that make you feel? So just think about that. I want to lose weight. How would that make me feel? Would it make you feel healthy? Would it make you feel strong? Would it make you feel sexy? Would it make you feel confident? Feel free to name all of those things, and you can notice the thoughts as they come up. Oh, that sounds so shallow, or whatever those thoughts are, those little critics that come up, that's fine. We can see them, we can acknowledge them. You're welcome here. There's enough space for everybody to have an opinion. But I'm going to keep going, right? All right, so what about something else? Maybe a desire of yours, I think I was talking about in the last video, I want to take a trip to Hawaii, right? So how would that make me feel if I had that desire met? Let's see, I would feel adventurous, I would feel free, I would feel relaxed. So going through your list of your wants and your desires and identifying how will I feel if I get this desire, if I get my heart's desire, okay? So take a moment, pause the video if you need to, and just go down your list and identify how each of those desires that you wrote down yesterday, how they'll make you feel, all right? I'll meet you back here. Let's take 2 minutes, or just go through pause it as long as you need to, go through your list and then come back. All right, you're back. Welcome back. Okay, so now look at that list of all of your feelings that you have next to your desires and see if you can categorize them. Some of them might seem, very, very similar or have a similar vibration to them. When I think about, I would feel calm, or I'd feel at peace, or I would feel relaxed. Those I could put those into a category because they have the same sort of vibration. Likewise, adventurous or joyful or wanderlust, those types of words have a similar vibration. So see if you can categorize the words, group them together, make different categories there, and then start to spend a little bit of time with those words. You can look them up in the dictionary and see what the meaning actually is. You can get the thesaurus out and see if maybe there's a better word. and really spend a few minutes or several minutes just with these words, getting to know them and getting to feel them in your body. Notice how they feel in your body. And see if you can whittle down your list to about 3 or 5 words that you really, really resonate with. Now, when I work with my clients privately, we go through a really long, extended process in figuring out our core desired feelings. In fact, we actually have, as part of the package, where we do this, either in the Sacred Self-Care sessions or in the Self-Love Master Heart-Mind program, we actually have 2 VIP days. One of them is 3 hours long and one of them is 6 hours long. So we spend way more time doing this, but this is kind of a short way to do this, to figure out what your core desired feelings might be. And we're going to take those core desired feelings and we're going to do another exercise tomorrow, which is the magic of manifesting your heart's desires. So stay tuned tomorrow. We're going to take our work that we've done today and we're going to bring it into our next video, our next self-love practice. Again, if you're interested in any of my programs, you can get in touch with me by emailing heartmindqi, Q-I, @gmail.com. And I'm actually, you'll notice included in the emails that I send the videos in, you'll notice that I have available a free 30-minute Love You breakthrough session with me. So we can take like one of these feelings or one of these goals when we talk about it tomorrow. And we can come up with a quick plan, a quick 30-minute plan that we can get you started on the right track. So that's a great way to sort of work with me a little bit, especially if you haven't worked with me yet and you're curious about the work that I do. It's a great way for us to get to know one another. And it's just it's a wonderful thing to take advantage of. It's complimentary, so, and I love talking to people and getting them on the right track. But if you're interested in going deeper, we can absolutely have those conversations as well. Those are complimentary calls as well, discovery sessions to see how we might best work together. And then finally, we have the Self-Love Tent, which is a community on Facebook, and you are welcome to join us there. Just search the Self-Love Tent and request to join, and we'll add you to our beautiful community of people who are dedicated to a self-love practice. All right, it's been a joy to share this exercise with you today, and I will be back with you again tomorrow so we can manifest our heart's desires. Bye-bye.